It's that time of year when the leaves change colors. The temperature starts to cool, as long as you don't live in Houston. And the wind whistles through the trees with an eerie moan that makes you wonder if it really is just the wind or something else. Today we're talking toy-related Halloween decorations on Big Anklevich on Toys.
This storm is coming out of those time.
One of the first videos on my channel back in December of last year was an in-depth exploration of my Christmas holiday decorations. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I'll be doing an update to that one in just a few months. Unfortunately, I started my channel too late to highlight the Halloween decorations that I'd done just a few weeks earlier. I'm so glad that I've been around long enough to finally bring this one to you today. Let's see where to begin. Well, I always start by updating my Pez dispensers. They make them for dozens of media properties, but they also make holiday-themed ones too. So I got my witches and pumpkins and put them on the shelf. Then I got my Scooby Gang. No, not Buffy, I mean the real Scooby Gang, and put them up too. I also got together all my Lego figures that could be Halloween related and put them up in a more central place. Sadly, I started collecting minifigures one wave after the big wave of monsters hit, so I don't have many of them. Only the couple that I found lingering at discount stores years later made it to my shelf. But I do my best. I have plenty that are minifigs in costumes, so that helps. I put up these Imaginext guys that me and my son collected a few years back. I've got the Grim Reaper guy, the skull-faced Dia de los Muertos mariachi guy, and the jack-o'-lantern ghost pirate guy. They get a slot of their own. Now I'm really getting into the spirit. What other skull-headed characters do I have? I purposefully picked up a bunch of skull-faced guys this past year to punch up my Halloween decorations. I got the Reaper from DC Multiverse at Five Below back in January. Then I found the Marvel Legends Taskmaster still hanging around at a Walgreens and added him to my list. Over the Christmas season, I paid close attention to the sales at Amazon and managed to catch the legendary writer's Ghost Rider on his flaming bike at a steep discount, and had to get that one as well. It was so awesome that I went ahead and kept it up all year long, but now that it's Halloween, it's time to move it to a more prominent place on the shelves. I've had these Ghostbuster figures up all year long, so I certainly can't take them down now that they are perfect for the decorations. And the Ghostbuster symbol glows in the dark too, that's always more fun. In a previous cheap toy hunting video, I showed off my big 12-inch man bat. That didn't sound good. But I'm gonna move forward anyway. I was sure Man Bat would look good on a shelf at Halloween. I gave him a quick black wash to highlight the detail in his fur and muscles and put him on the shelf. Who else is Halloween-y? I got myself a Marvel Legends Capwolf figure for the Halloween display. He looks lonely though. I probably need some more werewolves to go with him. Maybe I should get one of those creature replica ones or Dyer from Fortnite or something. I got tricked into paying full price at the Disney store last year for this Toy Box Jack Skellington and Zero set. They had put the figure on a table next to a sign that said all the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff was 40% off. That sounded like a good deal, so I grabbed Jack and I took him to the register. When it rang up, I asked why it was full price, and the clerk said that it was only the costumes near the table that were 40% off. For some reason, I didn't want to be the guy who threw a fit and demanded the discount, so I just paid for the toy, but I still feel like they were underhanded and they owe me money back. And I'm going to take that resentment to my grave, where the Imaginext Grim Reaper guy will be waiting for me, I suppose, to usher all toy collectors to the eternal torment that they earned in this life. Speaking of Jack Skellington, I also found a Diamond Select Jack Skellington Pumpkin King at Walgreens, so I added him to my Halloween collection too. I really do like Jack Skellington. I need to get some more Jacks. I really like how he looks with these super cheap posable skeletons that I bought at Big Lots last year. They have them again this year. They're only $5, but they also put their stuff on clearance extra early. I got them for 50% off before Halloween even rolled around, so if you want them too, watch for them. You can get a pretty good deal. Cheap toy hunting! Then there's the Skull Troopers from McFarlane Toys Fortnite series. Something about these guys really caught my attention. I came up with a story idea, or at least the genesis of a story idea, that is based around mercenaries that get involved in some kind of a occult craziness, and eventually the characters dress like skeletons to scare their enemies. I'm gonna call it the Skeleton Crew. After coming up with that idea, I had to get me several of the figures. I got the regular figure with the white head to be the crew leader, and then I got 2 glow-in-the-dark figures with the black head to be the crew members. I even bought a couple of other figures that I thought I would paint to look like Skull Troopers too, to give a little variety to the crew. Maybe someday I'll do a video about them if I ever finish what I'm doing on them. And of course there is the big display of Mythic Legions guys that I made in my earlier video. That's a lot of Halloween-esque figures, but certainly not all there is out there. Maybe I can get some more good stuff for next year to expand my display even further. On top of all of those guys, I also transformed some of my figures into Halloween decorations. My wife, at the dollar store this year, got this big bag of plastic skulls. She wanted to put them inside these carafes as a decoration for the respectable parts of the house. They look nice and all if you're into that respectable stuff, but there were a few left over that couldn't fit into the carafes, and I thought I might be able to put them to use. I've got the MCU 10th Anniversary Hulkbuster figure, that re-release of the old Build-A-Figure, and if you pop its head off and replace it with the skull, then you have Skullbuster! What?
Doctor Strange.
That's pretty good. But it's taken.
I don't care if it's taken, I'm standing by it. I also have several of the old 12-inch Marvel Legends Icons guys. Pop the heads off, and Iron Man becomes Iron Skull. What?
Taken.
That's taken too? Oh, come on, these are the good ones. It's only gonna go downhill from here. Remove Captain America's head and he becomes, Captain America Corpse? Yeah, not as good. That's the best I got. You got a better name for it, as I bet you do. Leave it down in the comments below. Remove Spider-Man's head and he becomes, Spider Skull. The dead Spider-Man. Sorry, I got nothing for this one. I wonder who else we could put a skull onto. Gotta be someone else. My Sentinel's head doesn't want to come off, which seems weird because it was a Build-A-Figure and the head was a separate piece at one point, right? This crappy Titan Heroes style Darth Vader doesn't want his head removed either. My 7-year-old son insisted that I put a skull onto my He-Man figure. He came with 3 extra heads, so I know his noggin is removable. It looks pretty silly because the head is gigantically oversized, but who cares? Now we have Skeletor and, Skullator. Oh wait, I've got a couple of extra skulls that came with my Mythic Legions figures, so I pulled those out of my toy box, and hey, this biker scout pulled his helmet off, and look what's underneath. Oh my gosh, forget Fortnite, here's a real Skull Trooper. And I took the other Mythic Legions alternate skull head and popped it on this guy here. Eh? What do you think? Now that's what I call Deadpool. Womp womp. I had a couple of these Minnesota Vikings zombies figures that my friend got me a while back for my birthday. They've been on the shelves all along, but I moved them more to a front and center spot because, I mean, they're zombies. And this guy isn't moving at all. Yet, since I haven't received my Vitruvian Hack's horse yet. But since I mentioned him in a previous video, I couldn't fail to mention that I've got this Vitruvian Hack's Knight of Asperity haunting the shelf as well. Can't wait until his demon horse arrives and he can take a more prominent shelf space. I put a few other more standard Halloween decorations in some other places just to make it as festive and Halloweenish as possible. And then the last big part of the decorations is the fake spiderwebs and the lights. I did them last year and I think I learned a thing or two about how to make them really work. Sadly, there's no good way to get the spiderwebs off once the season ends. I kept finding strands of that stuff for months and months afterwards. Unless, maybe those are real spiderwebs. Maybe I just need to get an exterminator in here, or at least clean up and dust once in a while. That would probably do wonders. Okay, moving on. Finishing up, I guess. Here is my big old bookshelves, all decked out for Halloween. And how does it look? What do you think? What do I still need? Let me know if you have any ideas. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time here on Big Anklevich on Toys.